with snow swirling like you're trapped inside a shaken-up snow globe only to find the queen of the HOA herself, Priscilla Thornfield, charging up your driveway in $1,000 Ugg boots, hair and rage, both perfectly lacquered, waving some cease and desist letter at your face. Yeah, well, welcome to my Tuesday. She's screaming about my snowblower at 6:15 a.m., disturbing the peace, $500 daily fines, some legalese she probably printed off at 2 a.m. after her nightly glass of Pinot. The kicker, I'm on my own property. On land I've worked every winter clearing snow for neighbors for free. Now I'm public enemy number one for doing what I've done for 15 years. You want to know real hypocrisy? This whole subdivision, Willowbrook Estates, used to be my granddad's farm. I'm Marcus Kellerman, 58, retired land surveyor, probably the only guy for miles who knows every inch of property line better than his own waist size. My wife, Sarah, God rest her soul, died 3 years back. Grief nearly flattened me, but that old snowblower, it's kept my mind right. The cold, the crunch under steel-toed boots, the scrape of metal on concrete, that's my therapy. I clear driveways before most folks are even out of bed. Mrs. Henderson, with hands twisted up from arthritis, the Martinez twins, whose parents are barely scraping by, even Bill's ancient golden retriever, expects a treat from me before breakfast. I know these lines, these boundaries, the taste of copper from surveying equipment pressed against cold lips at dawn. Respect for property rights is in my blood. But then Priscilla rolled in summer 2020 like she was conquering Rome. Tesla Model X, UC Berkeley law degree, and a fake smile you could cut glass with. She got herself elected HOA president in a Zoom call half the old-timers couldn't even log on to. Within 2 months, she's launching her property enhancement initiative. Next thing you know, Mrs. Henderson's rose garden is illegal, Bill's old pickup destroys curb appeal, and the smell of legal notices is thicker than morning coffee. She talks to the old guard like we're historical reenactors. How charming that you still do manual labor, Marcus, she chirps, installing her 6th Ring doorbell. Her newsletters come on card stock you could use as armor fonts, so fancy you can practically hear the sneer. Rules everywhere. No RVs, no garbage cans, no unapproved outdoor equipment, which apparently now means my snowblower in my own garage. To Priscilla, this place isn't a neighborhood, it's her personal fiefdom, and we're all peasants in need of enlightenment. So when she stomped up my driveway that morning, waving legal threats and boots too expensive to see a shovel, I realized she had no clue who she was picking a fight with. I spent 32 years mapping every foot of Colorado prairie and the road she drove in on. Maybe she should check who actually owns it. 2 days later, I find a county code violation taped to my front door right where I always set my coffee. Noise complaint, public nuisance, excessive noise before 7 a.m. The irony, equipment built to help the whole neighborhood is now a crime according to the Queen herself. But she doesn't stop there. She builds her peaceful morning coalition, her a couple other California imports, and suddenly Bill Trader, but I get it, she probably promised to leave his truck alone. They blast the Nextdoor app with footage of my menace me in Carhartt overalls blowing snow. Comment section. It's a war zone. Mrs. Henderson posts pics of her clean driveway. Marcus is a blessing. The Martinez twins folks upload videos of the kids playing on snow-free walks. But Priscilla and her crew fire back with decibel readings, property values, and threats to call state authorities. Lucky for me, 32 years of red tape and city planning left me with a memory for loopholes. At the county office, I learned Priscilla's Berkeley degree missed the fine print, the noise ordinance bans, recreational noise before 7, but essential property maintenance, snowblowers, roofers, you name it, is protected from 6 a.m. onward. Armed with photos of 15 years of community service testimonials from half the street, the county throws her complaint out in 24 hours. But not before I noticed something odd in the old subdivision maps. Oak Street, the main drag through Willowbrook, doesn't line up with the original plats. That night I drag out Granddad's 1950s survey maps, yellowed and musty, and set up my Leica theodolite right there in the cold. Turns out Oak Street doesn't just border my land. A full 40 feet of it cuts right through what's still legally mine, never sold, never condemned, no legal transfer. Every neighbor's been driving across my property for 15 years. As I'm out there recording final measurements, Priscilla rolls past, filming me on her phone. She has no idea she's gathering evidence against herself. The county closes her complaint, but Priscilla turns up the heat. She calls an emergency HOA meeting about problem neighbor mitigation, floats a proposal for a special legal fund, wants every household to chip in to sue me. But the longtime residents push back. Mrs. Henderson lets loose 40 years of pent-up frustration about entitled newcomers. The Martinez family shows up with their twins who ask every morning where Mr. Marcus is. Priscilla's plan tanks, but she's not done. She calls Adult Protective Services, sends sheriff's deputies to my door claiming I'm a danger to myself and others, unstable widower property obsessed. The deputies see right through it. 15 minutes, a handshake, case closed. I'm not the one losing my grip. That night I realize I've been thinking small. The original farm deed isn't just 5 acres, it reserves a 40-foot access strip for the Kellerman family. The subdivision developer never secured the rights. I call my old Army buddy Danny, now a property law ace. He takes one look at the deed and just whistles. Apex Development went under in 2009. Those rights reverted to me. The city's been maintaining a road it doesn't own, giving homeowners guarantees on something that legally doesn't exist. And Danny digs deeper. Priscilla's got a record 3 ethical violations back in California, all for lying in property disputes. She's a pro at this. Now I've got leverage. Danny and I draft letters 30 days for every homeowner to negotiate an easement or find another way home. I buy a steel swing gate, 12 tons hydraulic could stop a tank. The permit is a breeze, my paperwork's ironclad. Pete and his crew pour the concrete. Priscilla's Ring camera army goes into overdrive, phones out everywhere. The Nextdoor app explodes, property values, emergency vehicle access, psychological trauma for children, you name it. Then she plays her last hand. Temporary restraining order. No snowblowing before 8 a.m. No surveying visible from her house. Deputies again, clearly embarrassed. I'm banned from using my own equipment on my own land. Priscilla's Tesla idles at the curb, phone out, filming my humiliation. But Friday morning, staring at the deed over cold coffee, I see the killer phrase, accepting and reserving unto grantor perpetual access rights to the western 40-foot strip for agricultural and residential purposes. Granddad never let this go. All these folks have been trespassing every day for 15 years. Danny confirms the whole chain of title, no easement, no condemnation. The city, the HOA, every homeowner, they've all been living a lie. By Saturday, the neighborhood is buzzing with rumor. Priscilla rallies, her coalition brings in city council members, local news, and actual protest with flyers and TV cameras. I watch from my kitchen, marveling at the spectacle, people waving signs about community access, standing on land they don't even own. Councilwoman Martinez bangs on my door. We're here to restore access for the community. I calmly reply, this is private property. Use legal channels. Priscilla shoves a court order at me, demanding I open the gate. But as I read the paperwork, my surveyor's eye catches fresh orange boundary flags. Someone's been on my land overnight, without permission, staking property lines for the city. It all turns into a circus, shouting, kids crying, car horns blaring. Priscilla's frantically calling the sheriff to report contempt of court. But I see school buses rerouting, fire trucks detouring, life going on just with a little inconvenience. That night, Danny files notice with the district attorney. Priscilla falsified court documents, committed perjury, trespassed with unauthorized surveys. At the next emergency hearing, the room's packed. Priscilla's got graphs and charts and fire chiefs and realtors warning of doom. I step up with Granddad's deed old maps and Danny at my side. This isn't about one man holding a neighborhood hostage, I tell them. This is a whole community built on someone else's land. Dead silence. Danny drops the bomb, formal notice to the DA, investigation opened. I'll sell legal easement for $1 on 3 conditions. Priscilla resigns, harassment stops, and we create a community maintenance fund. The place erupts. Old-timers clap, the Martinez twins hug me. Even Bill tips his hat. Priscilla. Her face drains of blood, her legal career in shambles. She moves out 3 days later, moving truck-packed tears barely hidden. Priscilla's law license gets suspended for stress-related professional misconduct. The new HOA president is Mrs. Henderson. First act, naming the community fund after Sarah. We plant roses at the corner of Oak Street and my land, a plaque in memory of neighbors who serve neighbors. My snow-blowing resumes, but now there's backup, the Martinez teens bill retirees. The gate stays open, a reminder of where respect starts and ends. 6 months later, Channel 9's Jessica Finley runs a story, how a snow-blowing dispute became a neighborhood transformation. The fund grows, helping students, building homes, turning what started as a war into the heart of this neighborhood. I still miss Sarah some mornings. The grief sneaks in with the frost, but now when I see those roses, the laughter on the block, I know she'd be proud. Not just of me, but of a place where people finally remembered what being neighbors means. So let me leave you with this. Is it really about the law, or is it about remembering who we owe and what we owe to each other? How far would you go to defend what's yours, and when does standing your ground turn into forgetting how to be a good neighbor? Drop your thoughts below. Ever fought for your rights or had to stand up to a Karen with more rules than sense? Share your stories, your victories, your lessons. Because at the end of the day, justice isn't just about courts or gates, it's about neighbors deciding who they really want to be.
Cảm ơn các bạn đã xem video.